Recently, Multiversus re-released, and I actually enjoy it quite a lot. Sure, the menus might look like bloated Fortnite ripoff garbage, and there might be more types of currency than the stash of an international bank robber, but the gameplay is a lot of fun, and most characters are captured well. I've seen lots of speculation about newcomers, and thought it might be fun to make a short video about some of the Warner Bros. Characters I want in this game. This isn't going to be the most recognizable, or even the most likely newcomer ideas by any means. These will all just be my dream wish list for Multiversus newcomers. In fact, as I go along, the newcomers will become less and less likely. There are 3 categories to my list. First is, yeah, I think they have a good chance. Second is, I wouldn't count on it. And third is, okay, what the fuck, why would you even suggest? I'll go over the characters in that order. Of course, these characters do have to be owned by Warner Bros. For me to actually consider them. If Multiversus dropped even that rule, it would probably turn into the stupidest fighting game roster in history. These are all going to be characters I have a personal stake in too, and would advocate for them. Like, do I think Daffy Duck should be in this game? Absolutely. But not enough that I would want to ask for him that much, you know? If you do enjoy, please check out some of my other videos and maybe hit subscribe. Thanks. The first character is one that's so likely, I'm basically forced to make this script as soon as possible so she doesn't get in already. The Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. The Witch is easily one of the most iconic villains ever, and Multiversus is doing a bit of a villains-themed season, so she would just fit very well with the other personalities. Multiversus' Kombat is very high-flying and chaotic, and she does really seem like she could fit the pull out a bunch of random shit moveset design mentality this game seems to have. She could have moves where she flies on a broomstick, starts fires, summons flying monkeys, or even uses poppies to potentially put opponents to sleep. Again, I almost didn't want to put her here since she's so predictable. Let's be real, she gets into the Lego Batman movie and shit, she has a massive chance, but I really do like the world of Oz, all of its silly, slightly disturbing but whimsical stuff, and would be pleased enough by her addition that I'll just throw her in. I suppose the Wicked movie is coming out and that's not made by Warner Bros, so that might hamper her chances, but I don't think general audiences even care about that movie. Topic of a disturbing but whimsical world leads nicely into my next pick, Willy Wonka. I really liked the Willy Wonka movies as a child, and I don't think I need to explain at all how he could be great in a platform fighter. He could flip around in some of his moves, or even use the fizzy lifting drink as an up special. Maybe even the glass elevator, either could work. Before the Multiversus relaunch, I was certain they would add the Timothée Chalamet version of Willy Wonka from Wonka, but that didn't actually happen. I would prefer they pick the 70s iteration of the character, of course, but I wouldn't be that upset if they picked the stupid shill pick, since his moveset wouldn't be that different, and they could give him any design as a costume. Now that the game has relaunched, I still think he has a good chance. I would be surprised if they didn't have a costume or a bio that references the Unknown in some way. No, the Unknown is not a character in this list, that would be stupid. Now that I've discussed the 2 characters who actually have a chance, it's weirdo time. These are the I wouldn't count on it characters. And do you know who else I won't count on being in this game?
Well, actually, yes, I do. It's my mom.
Look, Regular Show was my favorite cartoon of all time as a kid. I have the plots of almost every episode memorized by heart, because I've seen them over and over again so many times. Would Mordecai/Rigby be who they add? Certainly, but I just think Muscle Man would be more interesting, both moveset wise and interaction wise. He could have a move where he takes off his shirt and spins it around as an up special, and High Five Ghost could come in for some of his attacks too, to make it more interesting. Of course, he would have to have a My Mom joke for everyone in the roster. Look, I don't even like Muscle Man that much. I always preferred Mordecai and Rigby's plotlines as a kid, but I just think he's more exemplary of the show for potential crossovers. And Regular Show is the kind of property where the main characters aren't necessarily the most interesting picks for crossovers in my opinion. Skips would also be a good pick too, insert joke about Mark Hamill here. If you think Muscle Man over the main 2 characters is too weird, just be glad I didn't add a Party Pete, the character I truly wanted to say. My next character comes from a different medium altogether from anyone in Multiversus yet, Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. I always like seeing fighting game characters from traditional fighters put into platform fighters, and seeing how their mechanics are kept in place. Since Warner Bros. Owns Mortal Kombat, I think he could be a solid choice. The MK cast have experience with big, dumb multiverse storylines, and have even fought some of the characters already on the roster after all. I don't actually think Mortal Kombat is that unlikely, but the only issue is that since Scorpion is the face of the series, he would probably be their choice. Liu Kang never even made it into Injustice. Liu Kang was on the box of Mortal Kombat 1, and is usually considered the main character of this series as story modes though, so who knows. The reason I chose him in particular is that he's the heroic protagonist, so I figure the lack of fatalities or brutal dismemberments might make a bit more sense. Although it's mostly just because I find him cool and like his moveset, that's a big part of it indeed. Mortal Kombat has a ton of potential characters who could get into Multiversus, to be honest, so you can't blame me for just going with the one I like. Moving on, the characters who just straight up aren't getting in the game. I have two characters for this as always, and I mean Multiversus had some crazy picks, meaning they totally can get in, but they are pipe dreams at the very best. First is JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Warner Bros. Doesn't own the property itself, but they do own the rights to the anime, and that's good enough for me to qualify him. JoJo is one of the biggest anime series, and I genuinely think it could be a good avenue for expanding the scope of the crossover. JoJo has been featured in lots of fighting games before, giving him plenty of moveset to work with. I mean, I made lots and lots of Smash movesets for the dude when I was like 14. Dio would be cool too, and I could see Jolene representing the latest part. Apparently Ruby Rose has been leaked through fucking Pickle Rick voice lines, so, anime might not be off the table. And finally, there's gotta be only one character in the history of media who could be in a fighting game simply because it completes the joke with the character. I want Gwimbly from Smiling Friends in Multiversus. This one single character completely took over the internet for like 2 weeks, and Gwimbly being added to a platform fighter completes his character. It's too good. If he is added though, they have to treat him like an actual video game character. I guess you could say he comes from the Smiling Friends series in his bio, but he has to be treated like he's a video game character, cause it just wouldn't work otherwise. You could invent a ton of moves that would parody Smash Bros. And 90s platformers, and look, Warner Bros. Probably won't get an opportunity like this again. If I could magically snap my fingers and add any character in this video to Multiversus, it would be Gwimbly. This is my biggest dream here, Gwimbly for Multiversus for real. So there we go, just a few Multiversus ideas I want. Honestly, I'm still slightly skeptical of Multiversus' concept, since Warner Bros. Doesn't exactly have much of a shared brand identity, and there is still lots of inherent issues in the game, but it's made for a fun thing to speculate on, and Warner Bros. Have proven they're willing to add some wacky ideas, so it almost gives the game a the sky's the limit feel in terms of who can get in across Warner Bros.' vast lineup. I hope Multiversus will continue to add some fun characters, and if you got weird ideas, I welcome that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Actually, I changed my mind about Party Pete. Alright, here's why the coffee bean who squirts coffee from his nipples should be in Multiversus.